once a week we go out to the other coast of the United States, out to California, out to Hollywood. That's where they make all those great movies. Yeah. And here to talk to you about them, and the person who has to go see them is Michael Snyder. Hello, Michael.
Hi, Alex. And, a couple of these films seem to have been made in New York, so let's not jump the gun, but let's jump into the movies. Let's start with Hustlers. Writer-director Lorene Scafaria was previously best known for the middling apocalyptic rom-com Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, so I was pleasantly surprised by her latest movie, Hustlers, a heist dramedy inspired by a New York Magazine article about a real-life group of former strip club employees who band together to turn the tables on their Wall Street clients. The very game cast is led by Constance Wu of TV's relatively wholesome sitcom Fresh Off the Boat, Jennifer Lopez, Jenny from the Block herself, and Julia Stiles, but also features Lily Reinhart, who you may know of as Betty Cooper on TV's Riverdale. This must be her first big-time, major movie role. Also in the cast, Keke Palmer, who's kind of grown up before our very eyes. I mean, now she's playing a stripper, but it seems like just a few years ago she was the teen star of the kids show True Jackson VP on Nickelodeon. Even none other than hip-hop princess Cardi B shows up, and they're all playing strippers involved in the plot to get rich off their most devoted customers, with the exception of Stiles, who portrays the New York Magazine journalist interviewing these ambitious ladies about their more sordid version of an ongoing caper that makes the Ocean's 11 gang seem like choir boys. Wu has never played a part like this before, and she's Daisy, a pretty and sweet-natured Asian American girl who's been stripping due to financial desperation from a lot of hard luck and a series of bad choices. So when strip club diva and pole dance queen Ramona, played by J-Lo, takes Daisy under her wing and shows her the ropes, she's really grateful, and it's just a quick bump and grind for the movie to move forward into the women teaming with a couple other dancers and scamming wealthy businessmen who come to the club in search of a lap dance and more. It's told in an interesting style whereby interviews lead us to scenes of what happened, so it's kind of a point of view thing. I thought it was kind of cool. I enjoyed watching it. It was not a great film, but it was pretty entertaining, and I think Hustlers is going to work even if you go to the movies and also on video at home when it finally gets to that point. So make your choice about that one. Moving on to The Goldfinch, which is a kind of snooty, Tony sort of drama based on the eponymous 2014 Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, The Goldfinch. And it gets its name from a painting that's really crucial to the plot. The movie looks lovely, and the A-list cast includes Ansel Elgort, Jeffrey Wright, Nicole Kidman, Finn Wolfhard, Luke Wilson, and Sarah Paulson, and they are generally up to the task before them. But this adaptation of a very lengthy and dense novel trudges through a whopping 141 minutes in length, slipping back and forth in time to tell the story of Theo, a luckless fellow played as a pubescent by Oakes Fegley and as a young man by Elgort. The kid loses his mother in a bombing at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, but he not only survives unscathed, he gets away with a small, incredibly valuable painting that everyone thinks was destroyed in the explosion. He hides it away, even as he bounces from staying with a well-to-do family in New York and being monitored by a kind-hearted antiques dealer. And basically, all seems solid in his life. It's kind of coming together, and then he's forced to live with his unsavory ne'er-do-well dad and his dad's feckless girlfriend in a desolate housing project outside of Las Vegas. Dad and girlfriend are played by Wilson and by Sarah Paulson, and they're appropriately creepy. By the way, the mother of the wealthy family is Nicole Kidman, and she fixates on the kid. But in any event, while he's in Vegas, Theo meets the savvy latchkey boy, who's the son of a shady construction guy, and this sets the plot in further motion. As I said, the story swings back and forth in time, so we see the older Theo back in New York, working for the antiques dealer and torn between a significant childhood crush and the daughter of the family that first took him in after mom died. God, I wanted it to be good. It had its moments, but man, it just kept rolling forward, and so I will truncate this review. Moving on to something a little more, shall we say, pulpy. Freaks is, in fact, not the Todd Browning horror classic of the same name. It's a tight, tense, and character-driven sci-fi movie that deals with some familiar themes, people with extra-normal powers being considered dangerous and forced into outlaw or outcast status. Yeah, it's the essence of the X-Men films and the X-Men comic books, and it's all about their metaphorical burden. So in the near future, a meta-powered father and his daughter, mutants in scientific and comic book terms, are driven underground by the bigotry and fear that brand them as freaks and make them targets of the government and nervous normals. Emil Hirsch plays the dad. Bruce Dern is an older man of questionable motives in the film, and a remarkable little girl acts the hell out of the role of the superpowered 7-year-old Chloe, who just wants to be a regular child with a mom and dad and a stable life, and of course that's just not to be. Chloe's kept under lock and key in a squat by her wary dad, but sooner or later trouble will come a-knockin'. Freaks was probably not too expensive to make, other than the cost of some basic and effective special effects, but it works. Kudos to co-directors, screenwriters Adam Stein and Zach Lipovsky, and at very least, it's a well worth checking out video. Despite the deja vu of the sci-fi situation, I still thought it brought a fresh attitude to the story. And Manos is the Sundance Award-winning drama from Brazilian filmmaker Alejandro Landes concerning a rebel group of teenage commandos in an isolated mountaintop setting in Latin America, training in combat. Essentially, it's Lord of the Flies meets Beasts of No Nation, as a bunch of armed, volatile, unsupervised kid soldiers keep watch over an American woman prisoner who tries her damnedest to escape. The prisoner is played by Julianne Nicholson, the only familiar actor in the bunch. Kind of dark, disturbing, very well made, and a real downer. And just wrapping up, speaking of downers, The Sound of Silence. I kind of had hopes for it because it co-stars Peter Sarsgaard and Julianne what's her name? I love this actress, Rashida Jones. It's an odd little movie. Sarsgaard plays this mild but persnickety New York City house tuner who goes into people's living quarters and tries to calibrate the sound so as to improve their moods and make their lives happier or more productive. But he's kind of a wet blanket. The stunted, repressed nature of the male lead, even well played by Sarsgaard, left me cold. I wish I had liked The Sound of Silence. That's it. What's up in video?
I have absolutely nothing for you this week.
Well, there you go. You can check me out on Twitter at Culture Blaster and on Facebook at Michael Snyder's Culture Blast page. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you very much, Michael. And if you stick around, folks, there's more GABNet coming right up if you're listening to us 24/7, or if you ever want to listen to this review again, you can go to our on-demand. That's it for now. Stay tuned for more GABNet coming right up.